Hello, this is Professor Triplet, and we are going to do this piece right here. This main handle, top handle, I don't know what you call it. It's some kind of handle. And to do it, I am going to simply use a curve and extrude a polygon along that curve. So let's get started. This shouldn't take too long. It should be fairly quick. So just gonna use my Bezier, start dragging this thing out. And don't worry about being too careful, as this tool allows you to adjust it later. So let's just make straight one there. Do that. And we might want to, let's undo that. Let's go up here, about right there, and then we'll do something like that. There we go. Okay, that should do it. We only need to do half. I just hit the wrong button. I apologize. Let's grab this. And I'm not too worried about this being absolutely perfect, being that this is just a simple handle, and I just want this to fall in the middle of the curve. So if it's off a little bit, I'll just pull it out like so. Pull that down a little bit. You can see this one we need to just pull back. Same here. And there we have it. That'll do. So the next thing is there is a cylinder we can create, and just give that cylinder 8 sides. So let's go ahead. Subdivisions 8. That's a good way to start. Let's try 0.25. Probably pretty close. Let's pull this over here and we can just kind of line it up and find out. Find an area that goes straight up and down like that. Yeah, 0.25 is really close. Maybe just a little tiny bit smaller. Now we can just grab all these faces and hit delete, so all we have left is this top one. And let's go to object mode, pull this object down here like so. I'm going to line it up right in the middle, and then I'm just going to let me undo that, hold J on my keyboard and snap it. There we go. Alright, now all we have to do is we have to be able to select those faces, and we have all of them selected already. Shift select the curve, and then all we have to do then, so if you select the curve and it comes out like you're selecting the sub object of the curve, you gotta get out of that. So let's go back to object mode. Let's select this again, go to faces, and shift select that again. Okay, that's what we want. So if it was trying to select the components of the curve, you don't want that. And then now we just have to hit extrude. And you'll see it looks kind of funky at first, but that's okay. So we just have to add divisions. There we go. And add them until you get enough. Let's try 50. Okay. And as you can see, it's respecting kind of like where there's more edges needed. It's adding those in. I'm going to go a little bit higher. I'm going to go 60. I think that'll be fine. That should be okay. Just this area here kind of bothers me a little bit, but I'll go ahead and just delete off the ends. And if I don't like this here, well, let's see what it looks like when we smooth it. So yeah, when you smooth it, it looks fine. So that's kind of what I'm thinking we're going to do with this anyway. So at this point here, let's just go into our back or front view. Let's go back view and hit F. There we go. And so what we want to do is just make sure that these are straight like so. And then what's also helpful is if they're snapped to the middle part, or the middle grid in the X. So we'll just hold X on our keyboard and just snap it right there. And actually I'm still in smooth mode, so you probably don't want to do that when you're in that mode. And then I'm going to grab this edge here, and I'm going to use my edge slide, or slide edge, and I'm just going to average that a little bit. So that doesn't look good to me, so I'm going to just hit Control Backspace and get rid of it. And from here, I'm actually going to just rotate this a little bit like so, and I'll try to add an edge loop. And let's go into my modeling toolkit. So I want my edge flow on, so I'm just going to hold Control, hit it with my edge flow. Didn't really help me out too much there, so I may want to just adjust that. Maybe adjust that one a little bit. And that looks pretty good. Okay, now to finish this object off, we'll go ahead and just mesh display, soften edge. Let's go ahead and mirror this. So just find your mirror tool, and we want it on the positive X. Now you see it's not going where we want, so that probably has something to do with where our pivot is. So let's undo that, and let's make sure we put our pivot in the right spot. So I'll just hit center pivot at first, and it's going to be, let's see, somewhere there. There we go. And so all we have to do here is hit D on the keyboard and then just hold X, and we can just snap it to the middle here. And so now hit D again, and then we should be able to mirror this. So let's go ahead and mirror and make it in the negative X, and then we should get what we want. It should be pretty good. Now it doesn't match the reference completely perfect, but it's good. It's fine. That's all right. So okay, so let's go ahead and just drop that, and let's look at the UVs. Okay, so actually, since we're in 2018, why don't we just go ahead and change to our UV view. So UV editing here, and I'm going to save right now because we've finished the object. And then at this point here, I can go ahead and hide that, and then we can go to our perspective in here. Okay, so I want to delete these faces on the bottom that are on the inside. I thought I had those selected before, but apparently I did not. So we can just go like that. That's actually fine, because it goes inside of the mesh quite a bit, so we don't have to worry about deleting those out. And now simply choose the inner edge here. Well, actually, let's do this. Let's choose all the polygons. Let's just put a planar map on it at first. Drop that planar map, just make sure it's unified. That's why I'm doing that. And then I'm just gonna grab this inner edge loop and then do a cut. So cut. And then now we should be able to, you select the whole thing and do an unfold. Okay, it looks pretty decent in the unfold, but we have a new tool here that's straighten UVs, and so this should probably work on an object like this really well. There we go. Look at that. Now, what's going on here? Oh, ha ha ha. Problem. I forgot to weld this object. So since I made this mistake, I'm just going to delete this half right here, and I already have the UVs laid out on this half, so I'll just go back to object mode and do that mirror again. So let's see, it changed. There we go. So let's go back and mirror that. Let's make sure it's in the negative X, and then it says do not weld, so I'm going to say merge vertices. You know what? Maybe in this case I don't want to. And I'll show you why in a second. So I'll do it manually in a second. So let's just drop that. All right. So the reason why I didn't do it is because I didn't want it to merge in the UVs. I'm not sure if it would do that, but in case it did, I didn't want it to. So that way I can pull this out like so, and then I can grab this edge right here. And then what that should do is, let's turn off, first let's turn that off, and we should be able to see there should be a, oh, okay, of course it's not corresponding yet because I didn't weld it. So once I weld this together, so let me just only select the center verts. I keep saying weld, but in Maya they call it merge. Sorry, that's a 3D Studio Max term from the old 3D Studio Max days of mine. So now we grab this edge, and you can see those are the two corresponding edges, and then we can just say so. And we don't want that, so actually we want the stitch together. And so now you see, look what just happened here. So what it did was these are basically laying on top of each other, and that's not what we want. So what happened is that this piece here is actually inverted. So what we have to do is uninvert that. And to uninvert it, we just have to go into the transform here, and we have to do a flip in the U. So flip in the V would be basically like a vertical flip, but this is a flip in the U. And now when I go to edge and select this, it should work properly. So let's go ahead and hit stitch together, and there you go. It went ahead and fit it right into there. So let's go ahead and we're going to move this out of the 0 to 1 space for now, just off to the side. We'll move everything back once we have everything unwrapped, and I'm just going to double check it and make sure that I'm not getting too terrible of distortion anywhere. It's livable. I'm going to let it go for now. So, okay, so that's it. That's how you do this object. And save your scene. Make sure you're saving often. And let's go on to what I call the side thingies. And that's the thing that this goes into. I don't know what it would be called, so it's a side thingy to me. Alright, thanks for watching, and I will catch up with you in the next video.